Hi, guys. So we just got done watching season 10, episode 1, and it kind of started out weird. It was like, wait, is this the right show? Because we're seeing space. It was so weird.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really exciting dynamic, a really exciting thing to include because, yeah, all of these things in space, satellites, whatever, they're not being monitored or they're not being controlled anymore. So who knows what will happen. And this could be something that reoccurs later. It could be something where they have earthquakes or tidal waves or fires because of things falling from space. So that was a really interesting
way to open it. Yeah. And it was unique too from other openers we saw. And they also did this one where they've done this in times in the past. I think it was season 6. They did this where they broke it up with title cards. Mm-hmm. They've done that 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times.
I like it.
Yeah, I like the breaking up. Actually, I wouldn't have minded. I don't know if it worked on every episode. I think it would have seemed weird on certain episodes with the pacing, but I like it.
Pacing has to be just the right.
Yeah, it has to be the right type of pacing. It has to be something where you're switching between stories. If it's more of a bottle episode or where you're in just one location with 2 characters, you can't do that really. But yeah, I liked it.
And so yeah, we had different parts, and Carol is back. Maggie and Rick are still nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
I want to know what this other community is that Maggie's at. And Rick, I'm just excited for him to see his son and back. It'll be exciting. So what did you think of the end there with Carol and Alpha?
Oh, I like the ending of that. It's very foreshadowing, and maybe it is, but I'm assuming that Carol is not too happy with Alpha. I'm assuming she doesn't like her that much. Now, I do find it interesting though that she didn't. My thought would have been like that right after that happened to Henry, she'd be looking for revenge. And that's what I expected. Yeah. I expected her to immediately be like, give me my weapon, give me my, come with me, Daryl. We're hunting her down. We're getting her now.
Oh, I thought too.
Yeah. And I'm glad they didn't do that because, unpredictable. Also, it gives layers to Carol. She's not just some one-dimensional, this is something different. And this is a side of Carol we really haven't. Well, of course, she hasn't really dealt with this specifically. She has dealt with losing children. I mean, but she's like, she
doesn't have a great track record with kids.
She's had an emotional roller coaster throughout this whole series, just with trauma, losing children, one after the other, whether it be her biological daughter, her adopted son, or just the kid she kind of inherited as motherly role models, mentor, mother figure. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just different types of trauma she's had, and it's so based mostly with kids, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, she is kind of the mom of this. I think she's kind of taking on that, the mom of the group in a way. So everybody's mom.
That's what she told when they first went to Alexandria, and she wanted to keep her fighting skills as their secret weapon. So she's like, oh, they just take me in and protect me, and in return, I'm kind of like the mom of the group, and I just nurture everybody. And remember, she tried to play that off before. So she is kind of the mom of the group, even though she was acting like she didn't have other skills at that point. She definitely has other skills, but
yeah, that was sweet.
I liked that, but I really like Daryl and Carol moments. Do you guys feel like Daryl and Carol should be a couple, or do you prefer her with the king, or just because with Daryl and Carol, I could see them being together, but I kind of like the whole friendship without a relationship being the driving force, because there's something really sweet about 2 people just really having that strong bond and getting along and being there for each other without it necessarily being about, I want to get with you. And I really like that they kind of are healing to each other. They understand each other. So I wouldn't mind them being together, but I also don't need it to go there. I love their friendship. And I really don't like that Carol just left the king. I think that's weird. King Ezekiel.
Yeah. So. I don't know if he got jealous. He had jealousy of Daryl, but I think, but they didn't really go that deep into it. I don't know.
But you could just tell.
Yeah, there was some jealousy there. I don't know if that was out of the deciding factor or anything like that. I think this is all about Carol needed to mourn in her own way. And I feel like she also didn't want to lose anyone else that she was close to. And even though she's close to Daryl and has that deep friendship, I don't think she's opposed to friendships, but she doesn't want to have family, like actual family. She doesn't want to love anyone, like be in love with somebody or have a motherly. I don't think she wants to be anyone's mom. She already went through that, and then she gave it another chance, and then that happened again. So it's like she just feels like it keeps happening. And then we go to the anti-mother Alpha in the face-off. So it's kind of they're
interesting. Yeah,
they're definitely the kind of the opposites in a way. But she leads Alpha. I mean, I guess she is considered to her cult a mom, but she's not a mom. She's
she's kind of like Negan. Who do you guys think is worse, Negan or Alpha? Who do you think is worse?
I mean, it might sound crazy right now. I'd almost say I would almost put Alpha there, but I feel like, I mean, they're both, when they're both, like when Negan's in power, I mean, he put fear in you. You never knew when you were gonna he didn't really, like the way he took out the doctor, obviously Glenn and Abraham, I know that, but I mean, like the other people that
everything was just so hard.
Yeah, I mean, he's very cold. So he's not like, he's one of the worst. Obviously he's going through a little bit of a redemption right now, so it's easy to think. And but I'm thinking of his, like when he was really bad in his prime bad Negan versus prime bad Alpha. I mean, I think I still put Alpha there. I think Alpha is the most dangerous because I don't know. She's a bit more unpredictable. Negan was unhinged, but I feel like, and
Alpha's more sneaky, where Negan was a little bit more. Negan could be sneaky too.
Yeah,
but Negan also didn't like hide in the shadows like Alpha does.
Alpha, they both had their own rules. Negan had like, don't do this, don't do that, follow my way, and you'll be safe. And then Alpha's rule is, don't cross my border, don't cross my border, and you'll be safe, I guess. But Alpha, there is nobody that is probably actually safe. With Negan, he did have people did not want to kill, like
didn't care.
Yeah, like Carl, he had a soft spot. I mean, probably he would have eventually if it went the right way. But like Carl, people that he always viewed people as a resource, more so I think than Alpha. But
that is true.
Yeah, a little bit more. But I
would still say Negan is worse. But I would.
That's a close call.
But right now, we haven't seen all of Alpha yet, so we may change our minds on Alpha being.
I know. I mean,
the top one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Negan, from as far as I know, actually killed kids. I know there was that story that their group killed a 13-year-old, but I think that was Simon that killed a 13-year-old. I think. I don't know. Maybe Negan did too.
Yeah, Negan didn't really do anything to kids.
Yeah, he doesn't really touch kids. He didn't
really have a lot of kids.
But I mean, like, is it sadder for a kid? I mean, it's always sadder for a kid, I guess. But I mean, it doesn't make it better because he took out somebody that was 18 doesn't suddenly make him a saint. So
Negan's like, oh,
he had his 18th birthday at the time.
You.
Right.
Oh wait, you turned 18 yesterday? Okay, slice.
Right. So that's kind of how it was. He didn't have any. I mean, he lost a lot of his men, and he was just like, meh. I mean, you had a relationship with your own men, and he didn't seem to care a lot. They were just parts of the machine.
Exactly.
He was key here to replace them. So they're both bad. They're both bad people. But yeah, now that we're kind of talking about Negan, I still put Alpha as a close. I'm edging her in front of Negan, but yeah, Negan definitely had some cold bloodedness in him. But I like Negan. I think he's funny. Negan has better jokes.
And he has such a lot of words.
And he likes Judith. I mean, there's some positives now.
Yeah, I think we will see some of Negan's better side. I don't think we're ever going to see Alpha's better side, but of course I don't know. I didn't expect that Negan was going to be a character that we would keep on with. I thought Negan was just going to be killed by Rick, and that was the end. So what do I know? But
he almost was. I mean, if Rick would have killed him and not had Sadiq save him, and we had no more Negan, we probably could easily say Negan's the worst. But since we've had this a little bit of a redemption, it kind of softens him a little bit.
It does. And then we don't know about Alpha. I doubt they'll soften her, but I don't know.
Right.
But right now, I think Negan, I could see Alpha overtaking him as the bad one, depending on how the rest of the season goes. Mm-hmm. What I would really like to see with Carol and Lydia is that, like, Carol really hates Lydia because she doesn't want to go there. Like, I don't think she necessarily hates Lydia, actually. I should rephrase that. She just is so upset about what happened and she can't help but blame Lydia. So I don't think she necessarily hates Lydia. It's more just like, I can't like look at you and move past this. Every time I look at you, it brings it all back.
Right.
So, but I would love if like somebody else, like maybe Daryl could say something to her, like, because Daryl's kind of like somewhat taken Lydia under his wing. It would be really impactful and make Carol switch her thinking on this if he said something like, you know, Henry really loved Lydia, so like we should love her too, or something. Like, if Henry loved her and he's not here, then we're gonna love her for him, or something. And that might make Carol be like, oh, like, I'm having a hard time with Lydia, but I want to like be like Henry was and his feelings, or something, just because he's not here now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I probably didn't explain that.
No, I think that's good. Yeah, I agree with you. What did you think about the at the very beginning, the Whisperer mask on the beach? Do you have any theories?
I don't have any theories. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just gross. What do you think about that?
Oh no, I mean, I think that is a sign. I know that they probably, I'm assuming, well, now that we saw the end, that I can't remember how far out they went, but Alpha is looking, you know, I mean, she's not going away. So I do think that means that they did find them.
And also they're stupid because they're like, I mean, Alpha, like she and her people are stupid because it's like, you're on our land. We're going to be mad at you. We were putting out a fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I almost forgot about the fire. Yeah. There was a big forest fire or beach fire, I guess.
you know, we didn't really talk about that.
Yeah.
That was really scary because it was like, man, just when you think like the walkers are not enough, the people that you're up against are not enough. Now let's have the whole forest go on fire.
They've been using,
take out so much hunting too.
They've been using the elements like that a little bit more because the last episode before this was we already talked about the winter, so now they're using the fire. So they are doing that. Like I like that they're adding those other elements. I think that's very interesting. It's scary, you know, in those moments for them, I'm sure, but I liked how they were training too.
Yes, that was crazy because up till now it's always been each person kind of developed their own skills and their own fighting style, and they would get together and work, and it was kind of like, okay, this person can do this person can do that. Walkers come up and they're all just kind of like helping each other out, but kind of doing their own thing. This is the first time that we've seen them have it be where it's like a very organized, you know, like an army or something.
Yeah.
And I found that very interesting. I'm glad they have shields. It was kind of crazy that Judith was part of it at that age. So I don't know.
And we talked about it already a little bit, but the three men and a baby with Eugene basically taking on I mean, I feel like Eugene's kind of the dad right now. I mean, somewhat. He's doing the scientific measuring the baby, which is weird, but still though, I mean, he's definitely taking a big role. I know Sadiq's busy being a doctor, so, you know, he has to do that. But
the whole situation is so weird and confusing, and I kind of feel like Rosita should try to make it work with the baby's father just so that they can have their little family unit. And, like, I know that sucks for Father Gabriel because he's like, wait, I got to lose my girlfriend now. But I just feel like, you know, Sadiq isn't like a bad guy or anything. Could she just make it work with the babies?
Right. I think that would make things simpler. Yeah. I know people might think you should go who you're in love with, but I don't know. In this world, I feel like you have different rules. But I guess I guess 3 Men and a Baby is a different rule. So they're just making up their own rules. Okay. So sure.
Eugene should separate himself from this because that's great that he can help out with the baby. I mean, more parents need more support. But he is really just like making himself miserable being that close to Rosita when she's not returning his feelings.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like he needs to detach a little bit and have his own life and not just kind of hang on to Rosita for whatever little stray bit of affection he can get from her.
I feel like Sadiq and Rosita kind of make a little more sense personality-wise. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but...
No, I think the same thing. They seem like more similar. Father Gabriel just seems... I would never have thought of him being with Rosita. I don't think they match each other in their personality or anything like that.
Because I feel like Sadiq he's really smart, but he's a bit gentle and very nurturing, while Rosita's a little more hard, but so I feel like they kind of balance each other a little bit more. I don't know. I feel like that's a better balance, and she's also doesn't feel like she has to like with Eugene kind of teach him how to be a man all the time. Although Eugene stepped up, still though I feel like that's still there. So But yeah, and Eugene found something in that satellite too. I'm interested on what that's going to be about.
Yeah,
But
he said he could figure
do a
out something
thing,
with the technology.
do sciencey things.
Oh, I'm excited about that. We'll see what happens.
So, what do you rate this episode?
I'm gonna give it a 9.9.
That's a huge.
No, a 9.99.
I mean, I'm not saying that's not a great episode. I was like, but
I wanted to ask you first before I said 9, but I forgot. So 9.99. I really liked it. I'm into this season.
No, I'm glad you love this episode.
I'll go downhill from here.
I mean, I'll give it a 9. I thought it was a great opener, great solid season. It sets up. It's a great setup. I love the ending with Carol staring at Alpha. Yeah, it was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Tell us what you guys thought. I know I asked some questions in here, like who do you think is worse, Negan or Alpha?
Yeah, who do you guys think is worse so far?
Who do you think Rosita should be with? Comment to us. We like to have your things to read, and because then we don't have to talk to each other as much if we can talk to you.
Right. All right, guys. Well, we will see you on episode 2, season 10, episode 2, and until then, keep walking dead. I don't know. Trying to come up with different outros. All right.
See you next time.
See you next time.